okay? And I would like to emphasize that I was just a kid, okay? I was like 16, I just turned 17, and I went ahead and I got my Ferrari. I got a Ferrari. And what I mean by that is when I turned 17, my Ferrari was, it was this old beat up Subaru station wagon. Okay. But at 17 years old and I got my freedom, that was my Ferrari. Okay. That was everything to me, that freedom. And I moved to a new area. And, you know, I remember when we moved to the new area, there was this one time, all of a sudden I hear a knock on the door like this, like, right? And it was a woman, it was a police officer. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I was curious what that's about. And so I went down to the door and I opened it up, and it turned out it was one of our neighbors, and she was welcoming us to the neighborhood, and it was very pleasant. And but as I'm in this new neighborhood and I was meeting with some of the other kids, and I wanted to, you know, make some friends and stuff, and it was winter, it had just snowed, and we went out for a ride in my new Ferrari, in this Subaru station wagon that we were driving around. And I was so excited. I had my car and I'm ready to start moving around. And you know what, you know, a couple of kids, you know, like one of them, like they had snowballs. Okay. And in the car, what happened was he, you know, as we're driving, he's throwing snowballs out the window. And it just so happened that, you know, some of them happened to smash on some people's windshields and splatter. And in my mind, I felt like, I knew that's not right. And I was thinking, it's not going to hurt anybody. I was a kid. I was like rationalizing things. And anyway, I'm like, you know, I cut this ride, you know, a little short. I'm like, guys, I got things to do. You know, I got to get back. And I'm like, and I go home and I'm in my room and I hear with about 20 minutes, 30 minutes later. And right there, my heart, you know, I look out the window and I see a police officer car, and I was like, you know, my heart's beating, and I was stressed, and you know, I knew that we were doing what we shouldn't have been doing, and I knew, so in my mind that was like danger at the door, and I'm like, what, you know, and I'm like, there's no way I was going to open that door. And my mom opened the door, and sure enough, someone had reported us, and it was about me, and I got in trouble. And the reason I'm sharing this story is because there was a huge contrast to even when I knew it was an officer, but I knew that I was doing all the right things and everything was right. There was nothing to be like, I was safe. It was just curious and excited to see what's going on. And when I knew I wasn't doing the right things, or if I had uncertainty, like that's what I was. I'm like, is there any way that could be about? No, it couldn't be, you know, like hoping, but really I had anxiety, I had stress. And right now, at a time like this, that's the last thing we want, things that'll weaken our immune system. I'm going to show you how you have a bulletproof immune system. And so the whole point is, when you're not sure how to do the right things or what the right things are to do, it makes you can't have peace of mind. And ironically, you know, when we're afraid and running, it actually does the opposite effect to our God-given protection that we want to have. So this is why I'm having this here today. This is why we're doing this for you. There's a dangerous virus that's been going around. We all know about it. And it's very, very dangerous to the immune compromised. I know people who have been, you know, hallucinating. Okay, like the delusional, like not able to, you know, people having a hard time breathing. You're aware of a lot of the things that are going on, but if your immune system is strong, you know, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing what you can do and how you can keep yourself, your family safe. There's 3 main points we're going to be sharing today. And the main point, the first thing, is what you can do right now at this stage right here, moving forward. I had mentioned this and some of you guys got the video. What is it you should be doing, what you can be doing so that you're not affected by this crisis, okay? Whether you got the virus already, you didn't, whether you could, you know, if you're going through it, the whole point is, how do we keep our family protected and safe? And the second main reason why this is so important, and I'm so glad you're here, and you can share this with your friends and families, because what we're sharing is what you're not getting. There's different levels of healthcare, and you're getting repeatedly over and over and over again, everything in the hospitals, everything that what we're doing to treat this condition, where, you're getting everything that let me check my battery. Okay. You're getting everything to, to prevent this condition. We're learning about social distancing and washing our hands, and, I'm wearing masks in the office and things like that, but we're not getting anything about if you got exposed to this virus, and the CDC says in the upcoming months, most of us are going to be exposed to this regardless of our measures we're taking. The question is, and especially in the next, month, they're looking to start opening things up, get the economy going. Well, when we do this, our exposure is going to go up too. And so you need to know how to boost your health, increase your adaptability. You have super antivirus powers that we're going to turn on. I want to share with you. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure you have everything. And most of it you can do. The third point is you can do most of it right from your own home. Okay. So we're going to be able to share that with you. We're going to share powerful, powerful things that you can do. And we're going to make sure that you can, when we go ahead, we're going to share this amazing information. And if it makes sense to you, right? If it resonates with you and you want to apply it, I'm going to give you an opportunity to implement all this information so you can implement everything. And I'm going to do that at the end so you and your family get the best possible results. Most of it, you can start implementing it already, but there's sometimes questions will come up for people. So I'm going to make sure you have an opportunity to, cement it in and get every single thing that you need. Okay. So is everybody cool with that? All right. I hope so. So right now we're going to get started, and I just want to share with you a few basic things. Right now, why are we doing this? The world shut down right now. The world shut down. Okay. And right now it's like, why did this happen? I mean, right now there's too many people that died, and enough is enough. If we have a way to protect ourselves and it's not being shared, it's like, well, I mean, how bad? I don't think it could get any worse than this. I don't think the world is shut down. Such a high percentage of people have died or had serious illness and serious complications. People are stressed out more than ever. We're afraid to go out to fight this virus. It's like we're afraid to answer the door. There's damage there. Like I was afraid to answer the door. There was the economy. I mean, some of us are stressed out about if we have a job when this is all over, or financial stresses. There's so much going on, and it's weakening our immune system even more. And how are we going to have that peace of mind? How many of you want to know, you believe there's a better way? There's got to be a better way that God provides, that there's got to be a better way, a powerful way. How many of you, if you could learn the most powerful way, economical way, all right, natural way, okay, to avoid, to minimize your chances of getting sick, all right, of having to be on drugs or surgery or any ventilator, any machine, to minimize your chances of being killed by the virus. Who wants that? Okay. Who wants that? This is, if we're going to give strategies, we're going to give tips right now, and you're going to have ways to feel better, function better. Okay. And really to dramatically you decrease any chances of being any experience, making this a deadly or dangerous experience. We're going to minimize all of that for you. Okay. So my wife and I was downstairs, I was preparing for this thing, and I'm going through a lot of the information, and I'm getting frustrated because I'm searching online, I'm looking at different angles and different stuff, what's going on. And in one report, I hear one thing, then another report, I heard that it's not really like a pneumonia, it's more because it's a blood condition and it was I'm hearing different things, even the stats. I saw one that said 80% and the other one said 96. I saw one where one sentence said one thing and the number changed right on the next sentence on the same website. And I was getting frustrated. And I said, I said to my wife, I'm like, this is frustrating. My wife looks at me and she goes, Tone, this is you getting frustrated and stressed. She goes, how do you think your patients feel? So that's what, inspired this. And so here we are, and we're going to go ahead. And right now at this point, we got to focus on what we know. There's so much that we don't know, but it is a time to be proactive because of the seriousness of the situation, obviously. And so we need to focus on what we do know and keep it simple. Okay. So we're gonna, we don't want to wait until the end. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sharing the main problem, okay? So here's the key. Everyone is focused, okay? Hey, let's see, Karen, can you come here for a second, hon? Could you go ahead and, right now, this screen looks, oh, that's the side I was looking for. Can I just get rid of this or minimize this?
This you can take off.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you. That's so much better. Oh, now I see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So also I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my slides. Okay. And to do that, let's say I'm going to go right here. Now I'm going to go right here. I'm going to show you some of my slides right now. Share screen. And okay. And I think you guys can, let's say, Karen?
Yep.
Are you seeing my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to go here. Right now, I have Ruslan as my active speaker. I don't know what changed. Okay. I'll just leave it like this, okay? So right now, everyone can see, everyone's seeing just this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are they seeing the whole thing or just the screen?
No, we see people.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So.
Start the slideshow.
Yeah, where's that? Okay, perfect. So, okay, everybody, those of you who know me, I've always leaned on my wife for all the technology. And right now I'm like, I got to learn about Facebook. I got to learn how to do these videos. I've always been focused on the body and helping things. How do I help you guys get things to heal so you don't hurt any more than you ever have to and have an amazing future? And now the last few weeks, I'm like, how do I learn how to do this? How do I connect? So I got to tell you, thank God for my wife, though. So right now, here's the key. Everyone is focused on the strength of the virus. Everyone, okay? And no one, absolutely no one is focused on the strength of the host. Now, the host is you. You understand? The host is you. We were born superheroes, okay? But we have become weak, okay? The problem is, like when I say we were born this way, what I mean is you don't have to earn it. It's your birthright. Like you don't train for it. Let me tell you what I mean. I'm going to go into some specific details for you on exactly how we're doing, so you really understand how your immune system works, because I don't want to just share some information with you. If you understand what's going on when you apply it, you do it well. I don't like when if I do something with someone and you guys who have been worked with me and you're like, Doc, when you do it, it just works so good, but I tried it and it didn't work as good. We're going to empower you with the tools. We're going to make sure you know what to do, how to do it, and make sure you can get better at it so you can get everything you need. So, but the point is, we were born superheroes, okay? You have super antivirus powers right now. I mean, think about it. More than 90% of people, you're getting exposed to this virus. And if you had a drug that you could give somebody and it made changes in their body, okay? It made changes in your body and got rid of the virus, you would call that a cure. And they're saying more than 90% of people's bodies do this. The cure is in us. God provides, okay? We need to know more about how to access this, okay? So we're going to go into that. I want to share something with you. When I say you have superhero powers, I want you, can you guys see this young man? I want you to, yeah, you see that guy? Good. So I want you to meet Sky. I think his mom might even be on here with us today. And I got this from our Facebook feed that she posted. And Sky is a young, 10, 11-year-old boy. And he is, first of all, an amazing kid. One of my favorite people in the whole world. Okay. And he's an amazing athlete. And so it's a gift. And he does American Ninja Warrior, and he made it to the national level for the national level, okay, for American Ninja Warrior. They're climbing things and hopping over stuff, and I mean, listen, it's you watch it on TV, but it's not that easy, and he's over there doing it, and I think there was like 300 and something people made it to this last national level, and he's one of them, and and he goes ahead and he breaks his foot. And that's the picture you see right over here, right? I think it was 20 days out, right before his event. And they said, that's it, you're finished. Now we're talking about super healing powers, right? Super healing. Let me tell you something. All right. This is why we want to share this with you, because he came in. Oh, there's some of what his mom had written about it. By the time his foot, it was time for the doctor said there's no way, 6 to 8 weeks, for a broken bone. Here he is 3 weeks later, or whatever, 98%, he said. He's like, I could run, I could do this. And he goes ahead and he's in there. Instead of being out, he's in competing. And I think he won like 36th in the whole country. And there's some pictures of him celebrating. You know what I mean? Do I see a picture of his mom? I know him and his mom celebrate. That's him and his team, his friends from there. It's pretty amazing. I love this kid. And even more importantly, I love the strength that he shows and how he's a perfect inspiration for all of us right now. I mean, think about it. That's how do you get a broken bone and heal in 3 weeks? And all the specialists and, the official people, the competition, national, American Ninja Warrior, they're saying like, there's no way it's going to heal. You have amazing, super healing powers in you. And I want you to be fully aware of exactly what's going on. So, when you look at your immune, what determines your health experience, your immune strength? We're going to take a quick second just to look at that, okay? We got to know, and we have to do, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what to do, your do's and your don'ts that you could do right at home, okay? Because if you take personal responsibility, if you start doing some of these things and understanding it, you get to live better and longer, okay? That's in general, coronavirus or no coronavirus, you get to live better, longer. You get to be safer right now. You get to express your full genetic potential, okay? You get to have less worries about the environment. Man, that's one of the biggest things. I don't want my kids growing up in worry, and all they're promoting is worry, 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 fear, 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 death, death, death on TV. And, I can get why that's happening, but I want my eyes focused on life. I want my eyes focused on what I can do and how, I hope you guys make this decision with me. I'm going to be staying connected with you guys more frequently, hopefully almost every day from now on. Just got into this whole thing. And the point is, I made a decision. I know God uses everything for my favor. And I made a decision that I'm going to be better afterwards, okay? I want you to make this decision with me, okay? I'm going to be better afterwards than before this whole started. And we can lean on each other. We need to be there for each other more than ever right now. And I love you guys. So anyway, the problem, one of our patients, they said, oh, my, you look at genetics and you see one of my patients is like, oh, I have heart disease and diabetes. My dad had it, my aunt had it, my mom had it, my grandparents had it, it runs in my family. And when you look at the health equation, you see the percentage of genetics, how it works, and then lifestyle, that's things you're doing. And then environment, what you're constantly being exposed to, and also what your body is like on the inside. You have control over a lot of the environment and what your body's like on the inside, and control over your lifestyle, what you're doing and not doing. Okay. And then you even have control over a percentage of that genetics, the genetic expression and how it works, because you're all born with the same genes, but over the years, the way your genes work changes better or worse, depending on how much stress has accumulated in their lifestyle and environment over time. And so, patient comes in and they're like, doc, these diseases run in my family. And, this is a classic one. Okay. It's classic. Okay. But I'm like, the reason this disease is so prevalent right now is because no one runs in your family. I said it compassionately, nice and gentle, okay? But the point is, there's so much you can do. I don't want you to be disempowered. And if you're aware, yes, it does put some personal responsibility on us. Let me tell you something. I'm home right now. I'm spending a lot of extra time with my kids. If there's anything I could do to make my kids safer, I want to know what it is. I gladly take that personal responsibility. Okay. And the point is, if I'm being told there's nothing we could do, and they go, oh, what are you going to do? There's nothing you could do. And we're spreading fear to my kids. You know what? That's not what I want in my household. I know fear doesn't come from that place of everything good and what I need. And that's another reason why we're doing this here, because we need to make sure you guys have the support. Everything we're getting repeated over and over again is all, it's lowering our energy or fear. We need to know that you are provided for and that you have things you can do. Okay. So, I'm going to prove it to you. There is a trend going on right now. I mean, we spend $2.6 trillion. What I wanted to share is that there are, when we look at people right now, 5 out of 6 deaths, most of you guys have heard this, you see it in your family when people die before this coronavirus thing. Almost everyone who died, it was always cancer or heart disease 5 out of 6 times. Usually there's other diseases along the way. It's very sad, okay? And the point is, in our office, this issue, in places like this, that you're starting from the inside out and building your health, these problems don't exist. Like in other words, they come in like that, but if you go ahead and you learn, I've had some people, it took 3 or 4 years to undo decades of stuff. I get, I'm there with you. I get it. But the point is, if we're living a lifestyle, I see people blaming the environment, blaming God. Why is God angry with us? Oh, there's some things going on, right? That's what people say. Or we're blaming the virus. And I'm telling you guys, the virus isn't the problem. We are. I'm telling you right now. I mean, if you opened an immunology textbook, this is what they teach in medical school 101. You open it up and you see your immune system it develops maturity by getting exposed to different viruses and bacteria, all these what we call germs. And that's why children's immune system is not as strong. They get more fevers more frequently and stuff than adults. Okay. And the point is, you have this super antiviral power. You're born with it. The research has been done the last 250 years. Okay. The last, look at your parents, your grandparents, aunts and uncles. Okay. The research is done. We see what's happening. What I'm sharing with you is facts. Okay. We see trends in society, and that's what I'm about to show you. Okay. Because unfortunately, the reason the world shut down, the reason that we're in such a problem right now, we've forgotten how to be healthy. And unfortunately, the reason is because of these stats right here, why we're in this predicament right now with this virus and why there's danger. So I'm going to show you some of this, because you need to know why we're in this situation. What we see in obesity rates over the last 25, 30 years, people talk about the genes being the root problem. But how much have the genes changed in the last 30 years? You see? But we see the trending that's happening with obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, et cetera. It's all going up. And so you look at, this is 2020, everything's higher. You look at the trend amongst kids. There's defecating. This is breaking my heart, because it's happening at younger and younger ages. You understand? This doesn't exist outside of here, but when people's vitality is increasing, that doesn't exist. But everywhere outside of our office, most people's vitality is decreasing. These problems are increasing for everyone. This is why this is such a threat. It's not for a lack of trying, people. It's not for lack of trying. We're doing so many things. It's just that we're doing the wrong things. Okay? And I know there's got to be a better way, and I know you believe that too. All right? So you look at, we're spending 2.6 trillion. I'll prove it to you right now. I'm going to share some stuff with you. But for the first time in our history, our kids are meant to not live as long as we do. And that's not acceptable. Okay? The treatment for chronic disease accounts for 86% of our growth. This is ridiculous. $2.6 trillion. It's a burden on healthcare. It's a burden on our finances for everyone. Guys, I mean, look at this. Diabetes going through the roof. I don't know if I'm speaking and making gestures in front of the camera. You guys are just seeing my screen. Anyway, the point is, I mean, let's go through this quickly. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay. All these diseases going up. Okay. Cancer, all these chronic illnesses, chronic diseases, people living with this. And you look at what we actually spend, like in 1970, it was $356 per person each year, the average. Whoa. And now it's over 8,500. And it's not 8,402, let's be accurate, per person. And there's so much going on. By the year 2020, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services project that health spending will be nearly a fifth of the whole gross domestic product, okay? So the whole point is we spend 2.5 times the average country on healthcare. And this is the main point I want to get to. We're spending, it's not like we're not trying. It's not like we're not doing things. It's just that we're doing more than any other country. $2.6 trillion spent in healthcare. What is it that, how many drugs and treatments and surgeries is that? That's a lot. And the thing is, are we better than these other countries? I mean, if the more we're doing of that, you see, what's happening to our health? They're saying that if you have diabetes right now, if you have heart disease, these are complications that weaken your immune system. And this coronavirus is a danger now.
Well,
now it's a danger. Now you could die
yeah,
from this thing. And it's like,
basically, yes.
there's, so can you mute? So anyway, the point is, even the amount we're expected to pay, that's what this shows, our contribution in work is going up, okay? And so, you know, basically what this, look at this, this is the cost per capita that we spend, more than double the average, okay? So if we spend more than, the main point is, if we spend more than 2 to 3 times more than all these other countries that are closer, and yet, if you're doing more of something that's supposed to get us healthier, we would be healthier. I mean, look, even our life expectancy right now is bad. If you have, I don't know about you, I do know. No one says they want more drugs and more surgery. No one says, let me get my kid on a bunch more drugs. But if you're going into a system where the only 2 options, the 2 tools are drugs and surgery, man, this is a gift, by the way. I would never want to live in another country where I mean, our country is the top. I'm talking the best for medical care. When it comes to emergency care, when it comes to situations where I need that drug or surgery, I am so thankful and so blessed to have this available to me. I'm thankful to be in the United States. It's amazing. But with the 3 levels of care, when you talk about how we treat a disease and then how we you know, prevent, and like, for example, social distancing, that stuff you guys know about, that's fantastic, but no one's telling you how to boost your health and we've forgotten how to be healthy. And we're becoming so immune compromised that this virus, which is nothing to someone who's healthy, even to someone who has a halfway decent immune system, you spend a day, you get a fever, a couple of days, your body is literally fighting. I'm going to show you exactly how your immune system works. It gets rid of it. It gets rid of it. And I mean, you have the cure inside you. And if you knew you had that and you had access to it and you did the right things, would you still be afraid if you knew you had the cure? If you knew what God put inside you and had access to it, because we're doing the right things and moving that direction. Okay? So the point is, if you had that, I mean, the lowest number I saw was 80% of people overcome it without any issues. And what we're going to do is show you how to start, over many years, people start moving in a direction. Things to start doing right now starts moving you in the other direction, okay? So we are born superheroes. So let's go, some of these things, how does your immune system actually work, okay? You are bulletproof like Superman, okay? It's your birthright, and you don't earn it. That's the gift from God. You don't train for it. You don't have to go out and get it. You started with it. And we, you know, what we do, everything we're doing is either increasing it or decreasing it. And most people, as time goes on, it's getting weaker. So look at the breast milk, for example. You look at that and you think about when a baby, through their saliva and through the mom's nipple, it actually tells the mom the need. So as that baby goes through different nutritional needs, stresses, issues that the baby needs as it goes through stuff on what it needs to heal, to build up, to grow, the mom, if you're a mom and you breastfed your child, you did this, actually tunes into what that baby needs and changes the composition of the milk, okay? Guys, it changes the composition and actually gives the baby exactly what it needs in the exact amounts. If that's not a superpower, I'm telling you right now, that's a mom superpower. Or you look at the gut wall, the way it actually changes. You look at Sky, the way his body just healed those bones so much faster. You look at the killer T cells. Your body has these warrior cells. I mean, killer T cells, it's actually pretty amazing. You know, guys, are you with me? these killer T cells, they actually go ahead and it's immune cells your body does. It actually locates cancer cells. I don't know if you're aware of this, but we all have these cancer cells in our body. And your immune system, this is a superpower. Your immune system has these warrior cells, and it goes and finds them and kills them. And there's more than like that your body makes too, that does stuff like this. And if your ability is decreasing with time as age, then anything that causes extra stress. I mean, there's people who actually did exercise and had a heart attack, and that's supposed to be good for you. If our health is declining with time, then when anything that stresses us, including adapting to this virus, that's why we're seeing the trend is mostly the older the person is. Guys, you have these superhero powers. There's no need for cancer to be through the roof. I've seen the studies that they go, by the time you're 50s, here's the percentage. By the time you're 60s, it's even higher. By the time you're 70, it's like, this is not for you. I know that this is not for you. This is why I do what I do all the time, even before this virus. It's because we could show you a lifestyle that's inexpensive, it's easy, and you start actually paying attention to that life inside you, your adaptability, to the way you adapt to your environment. That's all you have to do. We have to start valuing that. And this is a big wake-up call, because look at how many people got this virus. They're not going to show you too much of that in the news. And they go, oh, and overcame it. I want to be that person where my immune system's stronger after, and I'm better off after than before. That's who I want to be. That's who I want my kids to be. I want to be the one that says, wow, thank God that I wasn't the one who is so immune compromised. And there's things you could do that move in that direction. Okay. So killer T cells, fever, the way your body heats things up, it's pretty amazing. Vomiting, you have these amazing powers, but because our body, our immune system has gotten so weak, okay, the world shut down. And it's time to change the conversation. It's time to stop focusing on the strength of the virus, because when somebody's healthy and adapting properly to it, there's no, it's not that, it's actually, what do they say? Most of the symptoms are mild for the average person. And the point is, man, I know I had a patient of mine, she told me a young man, 35 years old, died from coronavirus that she worked with. And I'm like, that's why we're doing this right here. We got to get this information out there, because you could do this, okay? But we can't just let the world shut down. But we got to keep things safe and people safe and healthy. And so it's like, what can I start doing right now for my own home? We got to change this conversation, okay? We have to start looking at the way God made us. And Karen, how do I go and put this to the full speed? Oh, right here. Okay. We have to go ahead and change the conversation, focus on, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body's pretty amazing. And you're like Superman. Let's make it so that when a bullet comes at you, this virus comes at you like this, what happens is it bounces right off. That's what we want. And now the thing is, Superman has kryptonite, okay? Superman has kryptonite. We talked about the reasons why this happened. The first reason, personal responsibility. I get it. Does it put more personal responsibility on us? Yes, but it also empowers us. It takes us from being disempowered. There's nothing you can do, all right? I believe in a higher power. I know God's real, and it's like to believe, you know what, I'm just out of luck and there's nothing I can do. I not only do I not accept it, it's not what the science shows. Okay, there are things you can do. And so to take that personal responsibility, you know what, you could be saving people in your family. The percentage of death could be going down, okay? Number 3, I'm going to tell you later. And the second reason is that we've lowered our expectations of what health actually is, okay? We've actually lowered our expectations. So we look at this, a lot of times we're looking at health as if it's either sick or healthy, like black and white. And this is very important. Health is not a black and white thing. That's not, most people, here's what's going on. Most people, we go ahead and we say, I have some symptoms today, so I'm not healthy. I have a fever or I have some sniffles. And then tomorrow or 2 days later, I don't have any more. Now I'm healthy again. And it goes up and down. It's black and white. If I have symptoms, I'm healthy. It's not like that. Your health is dynamic. And the first thing you need to know about how your immune system works, another thing, think about a time in your life where your immune system got run down and you knew about it. Think about like if you went to college, midterms week in college, okay? Think about that. Or, I mean, for me, I remember that was the time where most people got run down, okay? Where this is almost everyone agrees. Anyone I've ever talked about this so far has agreed. They're like, yeah, you know, midterms week, final. And what we're worried about is how well we're going to do on a test. See, that's not even worrying about, am I going to catch this virus? What if someone in my family doesn't adapt to it? What if we get this serious illness or die? We need to protect ourselves. We need to protect. See, we're not even thinking about that. We're thinking about just about passing a test at midterms week. And if you hold that negative thought, that one worry or concern for 1 week straight, how much does your body really get broken down? Take a minute and reflect, guys. This is powerful because it's helping you recognize that we have power over how our body affects, even with our thinking. No one wants their immune system to be run down. And if that's what 1 week does of thinking about passing a test, what does 1 or 2 months right now of worrying for life and mom and dad and what's going to happen in your finances, you know, what the heck is that doing to our immune system right now? They're going to open the border soon. You're going to be, exposure is going to go up. We need to do something. So I'm going to go into all these do's and don'ts for you, but your health is not about, oh, I'm healthy. It's more of a dynamic thing. Can't you see it changes from time to time? So the whole point is, okay, how do I go back to that like this? There we go. Okay. So, okay. The point is, it's like, there's a gray area here. Okay. It's not just this, it's this. You know, there's a big difference between being sick and having symptoms or sick and not having symptoms. And there's a big difference between being healthy and having symptoms or healthy and not having symptoms, because when you're healthy, you overcome it. Health is an expression of life. How well are things working the way God designed you to work? Is there so much blockage building up inside, or is your body doing what it's designed to do? Okay. So you have to look at this. This is how your immune system really works and how your healing works, your health really works. Right now, who here wants their health to be so high right now with things you could do right now, with what you can, even with eating? Some people don't have some things available to them. You know what? If you don't have it available to you as far as nutrition or getting access, it's okay. There's so much you could do right now that we're going to share with you of what you can eat, what you can think, things you could do mentally, things you can do, movement, even especially to the point of exertion and exercise, boost your immune system. And I'm going to make myself available to you. You can join me on my Facebook page after things I didn't cover. Some patients have questions like, you know, should I exercise a little bit? What if I'm going through this? What if I'm feeling so exhausted? When do I rest? What's the balance between exercise? You know, I'll be there to guide you guys through whatever you need. I'm here for you. I love you. Okay. And we're going to be there for you. But you got to look at this continuum. This is what's really, you know, this is what's going on here. Okay. And you look at this and you got to ask everyone here, everyone falls on this continuum somewhere. And all the way at the left end is 0, and all the way at the right end is 10. And this is a continuum of your health. And a lot of people fall in the middle somewhere where we're not following. If you have 0 symptoms, your energy's good, but we're in this limbo spot where we don't really know because we don't check how well our body's working or how well it adapts to stress. And, you know, but we don't have any symptoms. So we're in this middle area here. And then on the right side, you're adapting well, you're growing, you're healing, you're growing as a person. On the left side, you're starting to see things become more and more chronic. Your energy's starting to get lower. You're starting to have maybe blood pressure issues, or you're starting to have, you know, blood sugar issues, or you're just noticing you're not digesting food as good. You're starting to have symptoms, maybe arthritis, more joints are starting to hurt. Things aren't healing right. This is what health is really like. It's not black and white. And it's changing. And where you see yourself more chronic things, you're starting to see patterns in your nervous system. Your body's not maintaining function as well. And so everyone here, you gotta, you know, where are you on this continuum right now? Do you have symptoms? Do you have signs? Do you have things that don't heal as well? And also, there is a direction. What direction are you going in? And based on some of those things we mentioned, like, are you starting to see more and more things pile up, or less and less? But the point is, how fast are you moving in that direction? Or your spouse, loved one, a partner, or your children? Where are you on that? How fast are you moving? In what direction? Where do you want to be? Because you have power. That's why we're here. You have the ability to make these changes. You see, it's not that God's not the problem. The world is not the problem. The virus isn't the problem. We just take responsibility. We can do this, and we can do it together, and we can help each other. Where do you think your kids, if you were to ask your kids what they want you and what direction they want you to be going, what do you think they would say? You know, this is what it is. So right now, how do we not be immune compromised? Okay, let's talk about the difference between contagious and dangerous. Okay, contagious means this virus is very, 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 very contagious. It is twice as contagious or more than the regular flu. I'm with you on that. But there's a difference between contagious and dangerous. You see, when your immune system, when you're not immunocompromised, this virus is not dangerous. Okay? No one likes coming home. I don't like coming home to a mess in my house. And I don't like having to be out of work for a couple of days because my body's calling me to fast. My immune system, you know, another thing about how your immune system works, it's like the furnace in your house. You feel it kick in, and it starts taking so much energy. That's why anytime you've ever had the flu or had the cold or something, you feel fatigued, you feel tired, you feel weaker. Your immune system takes so much energy. And sometimes people are trying to fight through stuff. Or you know how they say this virus, oh, it starts to come back? What happens is this is a whole new type of virus. It's not like the flu, it's different. It's a new type of virus, how it works. And if as soon as your immune system starts adapting, it's not stable enough yet, and you start exerting yourself, you'll feel tired. You have to learn to listen to your inner wisdom. You got to take a fast from all this energy and exertion and rest. And sometimes eating, stop getting the blood to your intestines and start resting and listen to your body. And it's going to increase your ability to adapt and overcome. You have this amazing gift. So what you should be doing is asking, what do I need to do to make sure I'm not immune compromised? And if I get exposed to this, what's the right way to handle this? And I've helped people process this. I've helped people deal with this. I've helped people, let's see, I've helped people, are they seeing my screen or no?
Just you.
Just me? Well, the point is, let's see, I want to get this. This is it. Hold on, I'm going to get you my screen. Can you do it? I'm not seeing the share my screen button. I tried that. The point is, you don't get sick. You're not a victim. That, you know, you're a victor. You're created to be a victor. Okay, we do sick, and so let's look at some of this stuff. Okay, so right now, I told you you have a superpower. Imagine if Superman was actually exposing himself to kryptonite little by little all the time. And it was radiating into his body over the years, just little bits at a time over the years. Even Superman would lose all his superpowers, like you, losing your antivirus powers, your healing powers, your immune system powers, what your body can do. Even Superman would die eventually. He would lose his bulletproofness. You have a kryptonite, just like Superman, and your kryptonite is stress. Okay, and when we say lifestyle changes, we're talking about how is it that we deal with stress? Are you still looking for ways to cope with stress, to deal with it as it piles up? That's not good enough. That even when you succeed at finding ways, it builds up. It's like kryptonite building up in your body little by little by little. You're getting weaker over time. While you're looking for ways to adapt and overcome and be able to use everything that's in your life is meant to be used to help you, not hurt you, to help you grow, to adapt. And we're going to show you how to do that. Okay? Because here's what actually stress is doing. Stress is doing all these things. It's increasing clotting factors. You're increasing strokes. You're having blood pressure going up. You have, you have digestion. I mean, right now, your body is slowing down in your digestion with your stress levels. Anyone here who's, ask yourself, am I sitting here trying to avoid this virus and stressed? You know what? The bare minimum is to try to slow down the curve on the hospitals. That's obvious. But do you want to give yourself and your loved ones the bare minimum? For my kids, do I want to give my kids? There's no way I'm going to give them the bare minimum. I want to make sure they're safe. If we get exposed to this, we're going to the supermarket every week. There's people in there online bumping into each other that we could get exposed to this. There's no way I'm not going to make sure I'm going to just do the bare minimum, which is social distancing. I got to make sure I'm taking care of myself. I have a gift from God. I'm going to use it. I'm thankful for that. And I'm going to start doing my part, looking, Lord, how can I boost my immune system? Right now, our stress levels are up, serotonin levels are down, fear and anxiety is up. We're moving more towards diabetes. We're moving more towards heart disease. And most importantly, right now, your cortisol levels are going up. That actually weakens your immune system. Cortisol, it's a stress hormone, okay? So we can't deal with that. We got to start turning things around. The three things are thoughts, traumas, and toxins, okay? Thoughts, traumas, and toxins. So let's look at the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts. Now see this mindset, limited thinking. I'm already sharing a lot of things with you. I'm sharing things with you right now that when you start training your brain, who gets it? Your brain is a computer. And your computer, like my phone, I have all these apps I download on my phone. I want you to start taking control over what you download over your brain. Do you want to be the world to do it, or do you want to be in charge? Do you want the flesh to guide you, or do you want to be in the spirit where you go, I'm noticing that I'm saying these things and I'm doing these things, okay? You got to pay close attention to what you're saying and what you're doing and say, what am I believing? Where is this? What am I thinking right now that's making me act this way? And then if it's negative, it's like, whoa. If it's not right now, everything I shared with you is empowering so far. And it's true. That's the best part of it. And it's simple and it makes sense. And so the whole point is, if ever there's worry in your life, there's a gift there for that you too. So you have this strong belief. You know what? I decided I didn't let the flesh, the world's habits download stuff in your brain. The way your brain downloads stuff like a computer, right, is with repetition. And especially now when you're hearing all about, oh, this many people died today and this many people died. 8,000 people die every day in our country alone. 8,000. It's not just 200 from coronavirus. It's 8,000 every day. That's before the coronavirus, okay? So, and it's like, are we just looking for death and counting it, or are we looking for life and how we can, what I'm doing is I'm looking for how many people can we share this information with, and how many people can you share? How many people can we save? How many people are we increasing life? How many people are we starting to empower? And remember, to let them realize the superpowers they have and start strengthening, being thankful. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to look at yourself and go, wow, that's what I want. That's why I'm going to share with you so much stuff you could do at home. Okay, but holding grudges, feeling, oh, China, can't believe they did this, or our government, it's like I applied for that loan, the PPP. You know what? Some of my patients say they got it. I didn't get it. Holding grudges, feeling stressed right now. It's like we got to look, see, be together, see how we can help, look for things. But this living, you got to know when enough is enough, and once you stop the news, you got to do an e-break. Even a technology break. We said thoughts, traumas, and toxins. What about technology? If your computers, your laptops, your iPhones, we're all home more now. We're less active. There's more inflammation starting to build up in our joints if you're not moving enough. And the point is, these are all things, by the way, to consider and to start implying in your lifestyle at home right now. And any joints, that things get stuck. You keep your arm in the same position for 10 minutes, it starts to get stiff. Fibrous tissue builds up, inflammation builds up, stress, inflammation, chronic pains if you're getting that. And a lot of patients call me out with that. It weakens your immune system. And at this point in time right now, we can't have that. We need We need to have that. So there's so much to do here. You got to stop. Okay, thank you. So you got to start vision casting, looking at what you want. How can my life be better? Getting into alignment. I had a couple patients do this every morning and night. They would look at a gratitude list and see what they can add to it. And right on their night table, gratitude list, I'm telling you, the vibration shifted. I have people that are sick. I'm going to show you how powerful this is in a second. But I want you to get this list here, things you can do. This is being recorded. We're going to do our best to make it available to you. Okay. But sleep is, we always say how you think. Guys, we talk about how you think, how you move. Okay, right now it's me. How you think, how you move, and how you think, how you move, and how you eat. Okay, and right, nutritionally, things to boost your immune system, and the point is, sleep is also important. I mean, like I said, do that eat fast. All right, you got to start. You got to start preparing your body. Let your bedroom be your sanctuary. Get your mind to stop, or else just your mind's racing and you're trying to sleep and there's all this stress there. Okay. Alcohol suppresses us. We don't want to suppress your nervous system with alcohol. We're going to, and sleep. It's like sleep is a fast of, it's really all, it's how you eat, think, and move. When you're sleeping, you're fasting from eating. You're fasting from thinking. And you're fasting from moving. You're resting your body. Okay. So, this is, it's so important. Okay. So there's things you could do. I want you to pay attention to that. Okay. Okay. So how you, get 8 hours of sleep every day and pay attention. Is the surface that you're on, is it stressful? Is it too stiff? Is it too soft? Is it too, your body, trust your body. Let it speak to you. Okay. Let's talk about diet a little bit. Okay. Your diet, every time you're under those mental stresses, by the way, it's creating tension in your nerves and your brain can't get the signals. For me personally, if I get exposed to this virus, I want the information to get to my brain, no matter how negative it is, no matter how limiting, no matter how much the information is saying, oh, this is attacking my lung right now, or if it's attacking my hemoglobin. And I'm like, I need that information getting to my brain. And when your body's stressed, you have too much or too little excess, okay, or deficiency of these things. It creates so much tension in there, okay? So, you got to, toxic foods, sugar, refined sugar, start decreasing that, okay? The more you feel stressed, the more you need to be a little bit cleaner with your diet. Drink more water. Paleo just means, if you've heard of the paleo diet, you want to know what it really means? It means eat more foods that are naturally found in nature, God-made foods. What you usually find, what you would have eaten 10,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Not, a Twix is not a God-made food. It's not natural. Okay. Lettuce, oh, absolutely. Okay. And the more organic, the better it is, the more natural it is, the more your body goes, oh, I'm familiar with this. I know how to do this. Okay. And supplementation. I mean, here's a list of some of them for you right now. We know about A, especially because it's so important for lung tissue. It's responsible for the turnover of epithelial tissue. We all know about vitamin C. I mean, if you want to have that, it can actually be pure antiviral if you're jumping up to, to what we call bowel tolerance, where anymore you get diarrhea and then they cut back a little bit. And it's like very powerful antiviral effect if you go that high. But there's studies that show just 200 milligrams a day and some death rates. This was a medical study I came across that dropped by 80%. So, and that was in a nursing home. And vitamin D, selenium, it helps with the sulfur cross bridges with the coronavirus. Hey, fantastic. Zinc, number one mineral for your immune system. Probiotics, omegas, we need these things. There's more out there. Olive leaf, things to boost your immune system. Guys, that kind of information's out there. And if you want guidance on, what's specific for you, then give me a call, connect with me. Okay. But the point is, there's so much you can do. All right. So how you think, how you eat, how you move. Guys, a lot of us have been sedentary. I've been hearing about people building up. It's not just the macro trauma. There's less macro traumas, less car accidents right now, unless you slipped, fell for a while or something, where maybe this emotional stress is a big macro trauma. But the micro trauma is, we have all these new postures and positions. Some of us are doing work from our bed. I mean, I'm in my bed right now at my desk. I'm not used to working from here. Okay. All this stuff is things that if you start giving your body what it needs, it will not overload it won't create so much stress and tension in your nerves. All right. This is exactly what's happening in your body when you're in excess or deficiency, not enough for the nutrients you need to handle the stress, or too much of a nutrient sometimes can be overwhelming. Okay. You want to feel comfortable, you want to feel balanced, but most of the time with all the good stuff, we're in deficiency. Okay. So start taking more, okay, of the good stuff. Okay. When you have too much negative thinking, I'm telling you right now, it's building tension in your muscles and nerves. This is what's going on. Misalignment, damage, irritation. When I do evaluations for you guys, I'm always checking for fluid buildup, any signs of soft tissue damage and fixations and where this damage is. I mean, I'm going to tell you a little personal story. I went ahead because we're going to be closing up and I want to make sure you have all this information. Um, I went to my garage. I heard my kids screaming. They were playing in the garage. Okay. It was late in the winter. They couldn't go outside. It was freezing cold and there was snow on the ground and they wanted to do this pogo stick and they go ahead and they do, I don't remember exactly the circumstances. I remember what happened. I heard them scream. And that's what it was like in my heart. I go, oop, ran to the garage. Okay. No, you know what? It was spring. I don't know why they were in the garage. They were playing in the garage. Kids, you can't control what they do. Anyway, the point is, like that, as a dad, I'm running in there. So I run in there and I see there's this wasp and I'm talking like this big wasp and it's going to, and those things, especially when they get scared, what does a wasp do? It attacks, if you start to attack it or if it feels threatened, right? Anyway, I grabbed the first thing I saw and it's this little pole. It looked like the pole that would have like a mop on it, but without a mop. It was just in my garage. And I jump over there for my kids, trying to be like Superman, for my kids. And I'm swinging with this stick. And I'm not getting it though, because it's just this thin pole. And this wasp is turning, and you know what it does? It turned right around. This sucker came right around. It's like flying right at my face. And I just dodged and missed it like this. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing's attacking. I screamed like the kids. And my wife, she comes out to the garage and she sees what's going on. Now, my wife is our family's superwoman, Wonder Woman, supermom, and she comes into the garage and she sees what's going on and she just walks over like calmly and she grabs a broom. It had a more of a flat thing. Like I grabbed the wrong thing and she goes ahead and she just goes down there. That's her mom's instinct. Protect my kids, right? Sometimes her husband is like one of the kids and she goes ahead and she goes right there, and sure enough, the wasp went right to attack her. And it goes like this, and it goes right to her face, and she goes whack, and she hits it because it had the flat end of the broom, and it gets down there, and we get rid of it. And then she looks at me, and she looks at me in the eyes, and she goes, Tone, the right tool for the right job. She's like, the right tool for the right job. And I was just like, you know what? That's exactly what we need. Right now, you guys, if you want to get your immune system stronger, you are the right tool for the right job. You can do it. And you have things that you can do at home right now if you start making some changes here. And also, if you wanted to get your body, your immune system, your nerves that control everything in your body, right? A medical doctor isn't trained to look for this. If you need to find pathology and treatment and management of a disease, by all means, we have the best of the best of the best, man. And I got some good friends of mine. My brother's, medical doctor. I got some patients of mine, great doctors. And, I have people we're referring back and forth to when they need it. But if you want to get your spine assessed and evaluated for this kind of stuff, to see where the damage is, if signals are getting through to the kidneys, they don't even teach that. I mean, you do a couple, some classes in physiology, whatever. Everything else after that in medical school is all pharmacology and how to treat with this condition and what about this and how to treat that and it's drugs and surgery. And you have this amazing suit of armor. You got this amazing nerve system, all right? It controls every organ. You don't even feel most of it. Less than 10% is for pain, all right? And here we are, and our lifestyle has been this. This is our lifestyle, weak immune system. This has got to stop. And this is a big wake-up call because the reason why our country shut down is not because of this virus. Imagine if we didn't let our bodies break down. Imagine if we took care of what God blessed us with, the super healing powers. Would the country be shut down if everybody was adapting to this? If there was, imagine if it like at a 0.001% death rate or something, or less than the flu, or whatever. I mean, wow, like we would not be in this situation right now. Stress is our kryptonite. and we need to not be immunocompromised. Okay. See, this is the stuff that we're not hearing. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Okay. Um, let me help. I want to see you. I want you to see me. Okay. Stress is our kryptonite. We need to, whew, guys, let me tell you something. If we start looking for how everything's working in your favor, we're going to find it. Okay. We could find it. And, there's these, I'm going to skip some stuff here. We're running out of time, and I love you guys. And I just want you to I hope right now, I know you guys got a lot of stuff that can help. And I want to show you someone, one of our patients. Let's do this. Yes. And also, I have my wife tell me, listen, she wants to share something at the end, and make sure, my wife, she takes such good care of you guys and in the office, and she makes sure everyone is right where you need, getting everything you need, taking care of everyone. So here's where we're at with this. So I want you to meet Liliana. Can they see this? Right? Liliana came to my office. She's some of you guys actually saw her and had a chance to meet her. I hope she's on there right now, but they gave a beautiful testimonial. That's what this is from. You don't go ahead and decide to amputate some girl, a young girl, 10, 11-year-old at the hip and give her a prosthetic without serious deliberation. And this cute little girl was about to lose her leg. And thank God they flew in from Colorado. We gave a very, very special evaluation, like of some of the stuff I was sharing with you on the spine. There's so much more. I had to skip it. But the point is, we went through a very special procedure of being able to look at the history. Oh my God. I remember now. She actually got bit by a diamondback rattlesnake, and there was a subluxation state. And that was when she was a little kid. It wasn't even recent. But there was an actual trauma stored in the tissues. Now, the doctors never checked that. And they were going to cut this girl's leg off. And anyway, I'm just thankful that they came. And because we went through our unique process of evaluating the nerve system and why her body wasn't making blood vessels there. And we turned it around, and we got a chance to work with her. And her mom started sending me, for 1 week. And in that first week, she started going on treadmills. Her mom showing me videos of her on the treadmill. She wasn't able to move her leg. It was in so much pain. Then she was able to start moving it. Mom, amazing stuff going on. And the best news is, this was, how long ago was this? No, this is when she called this week to, but when was the first time they came by? November. Let me tell you something. This was in November. I just got a call from the mom just this week. And that's why she's on my heart right now. And I got to share this with you. The doctors did a full evaluation of her leg, and they said, what the heck happened? It's like a miracle. Everything changed. And I'm just, you know what? This is why we do what we do. And this is why we're teaching you what we teach. There's 5 things that we shared with you that impact your health that you could do something about right now. And 4 of them impact your health. 1 controls all of it. Which one do you think is the most important? Which one makes the biggest difference? See, the nutrition, it's about whether or not that inner wisdom that's inside you. There's people who eat horrible diets and under horrible stress, but if their inner wisdom is adapting right, you're like, how the heck is this person not having health problems? It's because what you have inside you is so strong. It comes from your creator. And it's about, when we do the lifestyle stuff, it's about, is it overwhelming or is it not? Is it, is it increasing life or decreasing life? When I do my exercise, if I'm moving, if I'm too sedentary, or if I have joints that are stuck right now and I'm moving like this and I can't, am I checking it at home? Am I moving? If you have the virus and you're stuck in bed, are you moving to different postures? Because so many people, your muscles are going to be achy, they get weak, your joints are stuck, there's breakdown going on. Get into different postures, breathe into it, move. We're helping people get through this, and in a way that's strengthening the immune system, not weakening it, and it's changing everything. All right, look at right over here. This is Abraham, and his dad, his son just gave me the most amazing testimonial, and I have it right here. And it's, I don't know if you guys can hear this. You know what? I'll tell you what, I'll put this I'll put this video on our website. But the whole point is he went to the hospital. Here's why I'm going to finish up with this. You know, he went to the hospital. He was having a hard time breathing. Okay. The hospital was overloaded. They turned him away. They turned him away. And his son, you know, called me up, and, you know, he was crying to me. He wasn't even eating. He said he's given up on, oh, he was hallucinating. He was having like weird things. He was just getting weaker and weaker, and he lost the will to live. His son was trying to fight with him to have just a little bit of water, just the tiniest little bit, for a whole day, 2 days, 3 days, nothing, no food. And he was just shutting down. And, you know, we gave him a shift, a transformation, a change. It's like what I'm sharing here, but imagine if I was one-on-one with you and really guiding you through this. And his son sent me this beautiful video. You can hear in his words. Get on our Facebook or whatever it is, our Facebook Live. You know, we'll post it. If you want to see it, just connect with us later. And his son's describing stuff that he's doing now. And I'm telling you, it's powerful. And sometimes I told you guys in the beginning, I said I was going to make it not just share stuff with you, but make sure you can apply it powerfully like he did. He's on this thing. You don't understand. The hospital sent him home to die. And he's alive now and doing better and feeling good. And that's what he's talking about in the video. And man, if you saw him, wow. And so I'm making myself available for a free consult online from your own home. Linda, you want to talk to me? Sherry, you want to talk to me? Other people, whoever's here? I will bless you. You know, start applying some of these things. Make an appointment. I'll have Karen send. She's going to send everyone here a link. We want to make sure that you can implement everything and to do it at a level where you can feel that peace, that security. Those of you who aren't patients of mine, it's you too. I'll give it for free. Consult with us. A 15-minute dub. You know, 15 minutes. It's through a HIPAA compliant website. It's secure. It's a medical thing, an online medical thing. We could be face to face, but more interactive, 2 ways. I love you, and I want to see you guys. Just like he was sent home, said, death, life. It's like powerful. What you could do, this information, everything. You are created to be a superhero, to be an overcomer. And I want you to start looking at what you have. And we're going to start sharing stuff. And my wife and I, we're going to open up a Facebook page, a private one just for our patients. And we're going to get in touch with each other and share how we're doing this and what we're doing. And we're going to encourage each other. And because that's how it really works. That's how it really works. It works the first time you start doing stuff. You're like, did I do it good enough? I don't know. But we're going to start our group. We're going to be the group that heals, the group that overcomes, that's stronger at the end of this than before we started. This is what God's blessing us with, and we're going to make sure I'm going to make sure we're sharing this with you. We're guiding together. We're connecting. Everyone on this Zoom call is going to get that one-on-one free gift, to a free consult right from the comfort of your own home. I started working with some people. Some I didn't get follow-ups yet to see how they're doing. Others, we're seeing pain go away right through the phone. Right through this, like, you know, through the computer. People are healing. It's pretty amazing, and it's pretty powerful. And let's see, anything else, Karen? All right, guys, listen to this. There's this one family. I'm going to give my wife in a sec right now. But there's this one family that I want to tell you about. I told this story once before, a long time ago, like about 1.5 years ago. They had a special tradition that every year on their birthday, let's say if you're 16 years old, you get 16 wishes. And you go ahead, and they would have special family time. And before, you know, they go ahead and blow out the candle, and they go ahead and they share their wishes that's what the family did. They would share their wishes. So if you're 30 years old, you get 30 wishes. You're 40 years old, you get 40 wishes. And a lot of times it's, oh, I wish that we go on a family trip here. And I wish that, you know, so-and-so is this. And I wish that, you know what I mean? And it was Dad's birthday, and he had, you know, 40 something wishes. I forget, you know, 45 wishes, whatever it was. If it was 44, 45, I don't remember that detail. But the point is, he's telling all the stories, and it's great family time. The next year, it's time, his birthday again. And the family just, you know, they all come together for his birthday cake. But this time, he goes ahead and he goes, I only have one wish. That I get my health back. Because, guys, you don't, when things are breaking down in there, when when you don't know when's that moment. All you know is if you're not taking care of your body and living a way where life is increasing, most of the time it's decreasing. You could spend your life doing so many things. Imagine working for like a car company or something, and you're working for this part or this machine, and you're working so hard and doing everything and never checking to see if you're doing a good job or how it is. And you might be, if your health, eating right, going to the gym, exercising, but never ever checking to see, is the messages, is my body full of life vitality? Are the messages getting forward? And you have to go to a subluxation based chiropractor, is someone who can help with that. It can check. And you want to go to a good one. I mean, I have some people right here on this call that come to me from California. Some of you guys are here from Eastern Connecticut, by Rhode Island. Some of you from Philadelphia. I mean, I have some people from Florida. Anyway, the point is, I love you, and I want you to be well. And I know you learned a lot from there. I'd like you to, if you could go ahead and share if you could send me a little video testimonial, let me know about exactly like what you liked about this video, how much you liked it. I'd love to see some of your faces if you just did a little thing and tell me about it. I love you. I'm going to leave the phone with my wife right now. She's going to take care of logistics and tell you exactly what to do so you can take advantage. It's all free, and it's just to serve the community. And I love you, and I hope you all learned a lot. And thank you. Okay? Go ahead.
All right. Woohoo. That was awesome. Yeah. I'm a big fan of my husband, so, but for good reason. It's all the truth and wisdom and information. I want to quickly share something with you guys. First, let me just share this screen. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. We're getting lots of information these days, and mostly it's from the news, and it's just coming from one source, and most people are not getting good positive information. Do you guys agree? I think so. So what's happening with Facebook is they actually changed the settings for businesses. And what happens is, hold on, let me get out of here. I got to get out of this thing first. Okay, so we have a Facebook page, and I want to load it up for you so you can see it. Here we are. When you go to our page, it's not enough just to hit like anymore, because they will not show you anything in your feed. I know some people don't even use Facebook, but for those of you who do, once you hit like, you have to go to follow, and then if you click default, it'll just come up randomly. Sometimes you're going to see it, sometimes you're not going to see it. It all depends on if you actually look for our page and actually search for it on purpose. But if you click see first, then it's going to always be in your news feed. And here's the thing, when you go to Facebook, do you want to see those people complaining? Do you want to see the negative fake news and all that? Or do you want to see positive, inspiring messages, things that can help you specifically? That's what this page is for. This page is for you, to empower you, to give you good information. Of course, you'll get like the practical stuff about what's going on. And actually, the good news is my husband, Dr. Tony, is going to be using technology from now on, as you can see. So he's going to be going on Facebook. He's going to be doing lots of Facebook Lives. And we have a whole plan to stay connected with people. We kind of had to just get with the times and realize that everyone's on social media. So we're going to be on social media. So make sure you click follow and then see first. And then this way you can actually see what's going on. Eventually we'll have a private page for our own patients. Secondly, I know he gave lots of notes, lots of information. You may or may not have time to write it down. So just private message me. I gave everybody my cell phone number. You can respond to that text you got earlier confirming, or the email, any information that you missed or that you'd like. Or if you want to send that video testimonial, you can use any of those, and just feel free to reach out to us. I mean, we have tons of time right now to help people. So please, we love you all. And thanks everybody for joining. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Karen and Tony.
We love you guys.
Yeah, I love you. And stay healthy and safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tony. Thank you, Karen from the Bronx Church.
Bye, Lorna. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Karen, thank you from Philly. And I brought a friend.
Bye.
Oh.
So good to see you, Angela.
Hey, where are your kids?
Are we leaving?
Hey, Tammy.
Yeah, it was
Hi.
really
Yes,
awesome.
everybody. Sharon from
Really
Brooklyn.
awesome
Thank you,
webinar.
Karen. Thank you, Dr. Tony.
Sharon and Delphine from
Thank
Brooklyn. God bless.
Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Bye, everybody. Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.